We're going to go over the 5 most toxic fabrics that you don't want to be wearing. So, no doubt about it, I'm sure that you have a few of these in your closet, but by the end of today's show, I want to make sure going forward, we're wearing less and less of these because not only they're not good for you, but they're not great for the planet. So we're going to be going over 5 specific fabrics, and then I'm going to give you 2 that I would look into as the best natural alternatives. Good for you, great for the planet. All right, let's get into it. The first one is this, probably the most pervasive. Most likely everybody owns a t-shirt or something like that with it already in it, but that is polyester. So when you think about polyester, you probably think about, some really not so great, not the worst, but not so great suits back in the day. I certainly had some, I'm sure, polyester suits back in the 90s and early 2000s. I don't know, but no doubt I did. So for the polyester, here's the thing. Polyester, we're going to start talking about a lot of synthetic, not great for you, natural based fabrics. Now, why aren't they good for you? Well, there's 2 main reasons. One is that they're not great for the planet because they're not biodegradable, meaning that they don't break down really well and they're just going to pollute the planet. Meaning you're not going to wear these forever and they're not going to biodegrade very well. So they're not going to break down. The second is that they're harmful to you because of off-gassing. And that's also harmful for the planet. So most of these fabrics that I'm going to name are harmful to the planet and you because of the off-gassing. Plus, they don't break down very well because they're not natural. They're man-made. They're synthetic. We talk about that all the time with you don't want to put synthetic pharmaceuticals in your body. You don't want to put synthetic fabric softeners or detergent, onto your clothes. And you don't want to necessarily put synthetic clothes onto your body. We all do it. I get it. What we try to do is do less of it, right? So we don't fill up that rain barrel and we don't end up with these symptoms of dis-ease because synthetics can be a big part of that. All right. So polyester is the first one. What do we want to do? We have to look at the labels that we are purchasing. And although polyester is, honestly, it's less expensive. That's why a lot of people use it in clothing. So think of it this way. So you're selling a t-shirt, and instead of using the natural fabric that I'm going to talk about, that's even better to use, you can purchase a fabric that's 1/10 of the price, or at the very least 25% of the price. Okay, so now you get a very inexpensive material that is ubiquitous in clothing, so meaning it's everywhere. It's cheap to make, and you can make a bigger profit on it. Great. But not only that, it's more readily available. And it kind of holds true to form. Doesn't lose its color. Doesn't do all of the things that sometimes natural-based fabrics do. People are happy with it. So what do? Well, you kind of cater to people because the shirt doesn't break down as easily, right? It maintains its color. It doesn't shrink or expand, and so it's a great clothing option choice. The problem is not great for you as a human, breathing in the nitrous oxide that it can give off, or any other types of off-gassing that I'll talk about in a moment, and not great for the planet. So just kind of keep that in mind, that the reason why manufacturers make more and use more of these fabrics is because people do like them more than natural. It doesn't mean that it's better. It just means that they hold up better. They don't lose their color. They don't stretch necessarily as much. And I'll talk about a few of the others in just a moment. Okay, so the second one is rayon. Let's call it the cousin of polyester. So again, you might have had a rayon suit back in the day as well, or rayon pants. And rayon has a little bit of shimmer and shine as well that a polyester could have too. Same issues, the off-gassing, not able to break down very well. The third one is acrylic. So acrylic-based fabrics, now these aren't necessarily just with clothing, but acrylic-based fabrics can be used with furniture, can be used with household-based chairs. Anything like that is a fabric that you can get and actually used with acrylic. The fourth one is nylon. Nylon, now you might have heard about nylon stockings back in the day to go real old school, right? Nylons is what you might look at. Stretch, they don't necessarily tear as easily, although they can obviously tear, and there is nothing really like nylon that you would say that's natural. So when you get nylon, you're getting a fabric that's now able to do something that really you can't necessarily do from natural based substances. You can't get something that's super thin that have that same tensile based strength. So when we look at nylons, now that is something that you're putting directly against your skin that can be quite toxic. And nylon's used for all sorts of different fabrics outside of clothing as well. The fifth one is this, it's acetate. You might not have heard of this one as much, but I'm telling you right now, if you start to look at your clothing-based labels, you may actually see that acetate in there as well. And then of course on fabric, that can be in there too. Now, there's a few more that I want to add on top of those 5. And that is every time you see wrinkle-free or waterproof based clothing or flame retardant or stain resistant, it almost always comes with a synthetic based solution that the fabric is soaked in or it's layered on top. And those are absolutely, without a doubt, toxic. So by breathing them in, you are inhaling more of what are called volatile organic compounds. You'll almost likely never see it written like that, but you will see VOCs. And VOCs are not a good thing. The word organic in there does not make it good. Volatile is the word that you should be looking for. Volatile organic compounds. The problem is that these items oftentimes touch our body. So let's say this shirt, which is not, was a wrinkle-free shirt. I would be touching it against my body every time I was wearing it, and that wrinkle-free solution, for lack of a better term, could be passing through my skin into my bloodstream. Microscopic amounts, no doubt about it, but over time, is that healthy? No, not at all. So a couple things is this. If you do purchase or have these items, always wash them a couple times before wearing them. If there is actually a scent, let them air out first, then wash them multiple times. The multiple washings begins to break down the compounds as well. So the more you wash it, the less toxic it is. The problem is, still not great for the environment. That's one thing that we need to look at. Okay, so I gave you the basics right there of what to look at. I'm happy to do a follow-up show. But now what you be choosing, like what can we use that are healthier options? Okay, we want to look for organic cotton. So whenever you can choose an item that's organic, even better, right? Because that's going to be typically from nature. Cotton, something great that you can use, that you can look at, that you can put against your body, organic wise, whether it's fabric, it could be wool, right, for a rug, or it could be wool for different fabrics that you may be using. But the second one is this, bamboo. Organic bamboo, sustainable bamboo. These are items that are sustainable. They are biodegradable. They're better for the environment. They're typically harvested in a more ecological based way. Not always, but oftentimes more. They have less sprays when they are organic. And these items are not only better for the environment, they're better for you. You can wear them against your body. So these are a couple tips I wanted to share with you here today. I would love to hear the ones that I left out. Please do feel free to drop below not only the toxic-based synthetic ones that you're going to want to purchase less of in the future, but also which ones are safe. Which ones would you like to recommend to our community? Another one that I can think of off the top of my head is linen, right? So these types of fabrics, linen could be made from hemp, could be made from flax. These things are much better for the environment. They break down, they're natural, much better on our body as well. Hopefully this was helpful. Of course, if it was, do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could serve, and I will be back each and every day with a brand new Cabral concept. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing rest of the day.
Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.